Can everybody hear me okay? I had to switch the microphones real quickly, and I just wanted to double check. Oh, good. Oh, great. Especially coming from an audio file. I my hearing's shot, but actually I have great eyesight, so I can when you type something I can see it immediately. I just want to find out whether you hear me or not. Okay, I'm going to put on my gloves because I'm trying to be better about not grabbing movements and dials without a finger cuts or piece of paper or something, because I was looking at the this uh, one person who knows what he's talking about, and they said it's not a good idea. So the Society of not deranged. Oh God, I can't think of any of it. God, pretentious. That's it. The pretentious watchmakers. The I'm going to learn how to say it in French and try not to butcher it as much. Hi, DG. Hi, Fernando. Lawrence or Lowell. Hey, Lowell and Why? How you doing, man? Um, there's a hello with a question mark. I like that. Pretentious. That's the word I was looking for. Okay, now I've got to learn how to say it in French. I know how to write it in French, but I'll try to say it without my usual uh, terrible mispronunciation. Hi, Oscar. Anyway, so I was going to give a quick update on this, what I'll call watch number 3 right now. My other ones I've given a name to. Yeah, that's how you write it. I'm not sure how you say it. Yeah, it is a cold day, Oscar. It is cold. I've got 3 sweaters on, 1, 2, 3, and then under that I got a t-shirt. This one was named the bronze. I think it's called bronze nautical, not nautilus, but nautical, a bronze nautical, but in French, of course. Um, we do have the pretentious watchmakers Facebook site up, and the if you want to join it, great. There's only one requirement, and that's to make your own watch. If you're working on a watch, you can come in. We'll give you a prospect rocker or something like that. Um, anyway, so let me tell you about watch number 3 and what I'm doing. It turned out, quite by accident, that every watch I've made so far, even though I'm using 6497 and 6498 movements or their equivalent in hi Simon in let me see, Siegel. The Siegel numbers are actually 3600 or 3620. The 97 is 3600 and the 98 is 3620. Hi, Dave. Um, the So anyway, so that's what. But it turns out they're all different in one way or another. The first one that I made, I cut off the. It's actually sort of the post for the 4th gear that holds the second hand, and so it just it's only time in minutes and hours. The second one was the first one I've done with a 98, which has the small seconds at 6 o'clock. Uh, this one right here, and the one I'm working on now has the small seconds at 9 o'clock, which means it's a 6497. Okay, let me show you where I am so far with this. Okay, 2 things. I've been working on this because on Sunday I want to have the whole new watch all finished, and including the band, including the new crown and the everything with it, everything done. I gotta look at it. I keep looking down. So anyway, Uh, what this is, and let me see how it looks there. I'm trying to put the probably need it here. The with the dial with the stem at 3 o'clock, and it's easy to position, and you can see right there that is where the small seconds are going to go. Now, in putting this together, what I did, somebody had said they'd like to see how you do regulation. Hi, Jack. You know how you adjust the watch so that you can regulate it. And it turns out that what I'll call the regulator arm, that little thing that pokes up that you adjust for to make it run faster or slower. They usually have a plus or a minus or F and S or some letters that indicate which way to push it to make it faster and which way to push it to make it slower. Lucky Pierre, I got one that didn't. Now this is a 6497, and that's the way it goes. But it turns out that if you use this sort of series of movements, they all go in the same direction. So if you to the left, I think is slower, and to the right is faster. And so I started off, and the timing on this. Hi, Mohammed. The timing on this was, I think it was plus 17 seconds a day. Now, the window for acceptable error is something between, like, if it's 7 seconds or less a day, that's considered excellent. And if it's more than that, up to, I think, 20 seconds a day, it's acceptable. Well, this thing was right on the edge of the unacceptable, or the other way around. So I thought, well, this is a perfect example to use to show how you adjust it and how to get it to where you want it. So what happened was that I went in and I used a toothpick, by the way, too. A wooden toothpick. The ones I found, they had little flat tops on them, and then they are just a regular toothpick. Those were great. I have been using the pegwood sticks, and they look like you're working with telephone poles in there when you're under, looking through a loop. So that I thought, well, I'll try the toothpick. And besides, a lot of you haven't, are still getting started in all of this, and heck, you can do it with a toothpick, and it worked. Well, it didn't at first. What happened was that I made the adjustment and I over adjusted, and I went from plus 17 to something like minus 27. So I really screwed it up. And so I plucked and poked it, and I finally got it to not only within the 5 or 7 seconds, I think it's 7, that's considered excellent. I got it under 1 second, that 0.7 second error on that thing. And so that was sort of fun to do. Now, I'm not trying to say that my little 6497 here is like the greatest movement in the world, but it's sure fun to play with and to get it to really some good position. I only did it in one position. Now, you may have noticed that in these really good watches, they say adjust it to 6 or 7 or 8 positions or something like that. I just adjusted it to 1. The reason I only took 1, I just thought, well, I've got sort of a rough idea. And then once I get the hands on, it may change the speed and everything else. And so I can do further adjustment then. And then I can do it at the different, you put it up, down. They have all these different positions to do it in to get the sort of the best average. And so you have a really nice running watch that you can use in a lot of different orientations. Now, tomorrow, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it in the hands-on. And a couple things I wanted to say about that. If you've seen the first video that the watch guy does, I think it's the watchmaker guy. I don't know his name, but he is really, really good. He is excellent. And what he was using tweezers to put the hour hand and the other hands on. And so here, this is where this is the little thing that the hands came in. But I think in one of the other ones, he started poking around with a stick, and it's called a hand setting stick. I've used it a couple times. They are fantastic. You have the one I got has 2 ends to it. The bigger end is for putting the minute hand on because it's got a little bigger opening to go in. Hey, LOL. And Mark, yeah, that's it. Mark Lovett, Lawrence, that's right. Anyway, it makes it so much easier because then you just give it a poke and the old thing, the hand goes right on. And then for the small seconds and the hour hand, you can use the other end of it to poke it in. And it's one of those tools that, doesn't take a few seconds to put a hand on. But, and with this, it is a few seconds as opposed to a few hours. And, but man, I tell you, it's a great thing to have. So you can, any place that you can find these things. Hi, Kevin, how you doing? And so anyway, so this is another tool. If you're beginning to gather tools for watchmaking, the hand setting tool is a fantastic one to have, and it really makes your job a lot easier. The other thing I wanted to, I'm going to put by the way, too, this is sort of like in like a bell jar kind of thing to keep the dust off. That's another thing I've been trying to behave myself about until it's sealed in a case, is to keep things under wraps or in one of the drawers here. Okay, well, I think I can take these off now. And okay, screwdrivers. I was looking at my screwdrivers now. I was talking about the different colors, and they're standard colors. And if you get ones that have the standard colors, you can. It means that the points can be the right size. Kevin, yes, I have started the Facebook page. It's called Pretentious Watchmakers. No one could find it in the French, I decided, but the name of the banner is in French, and I have an appropriate logo. I found there's sort of an outline drawing. Hi, Barry. I found an outline drawing of a French hipster. Okay, wonderfully pretentious, and so that's the logo for the group. I was thinking of putting up there with it. I was going to have some of the tools and things we'd use for this. So if this is going to be fun, and I hope it is, on the one hand, I think all of us would like to, do a good job, but not get crazy about it, and people screaming at each other about, using one thing or the other. So, all right, so that's where we are right now. And I think the more pretentious we are, the more we're like real watchmakers. Not watchmakers, but watch companies. Okay, so here are these two screwdrivers I was saying, and they're different. They're both by Bergion, and this is from, I got a wheel of them. I think, I don't know, about 10 or so on the wheel, and they're all different colors and they're all different sizes, and you put them in there. They're expensive to get the whole wheel, but if you're just going to get a few and you want to use and you're going to be using 6497s and 98s or ST36s, the red one, the green one, and the blue one are all you need. And this one, for the basic is all you need. I mean, because really, all you really need to do are, let's see, you tighten the screws that hold the dial on, and you also loosen and then tighten the screw that holds the stem and crown. And all you need is just this one red one for doing that. I got two because I got this one initially, and then later on I got the wheel, and this was part of the ones on the wheel. So anyway, that's, you know, it's better to get one really good screwdriver than getting a cheap wheel or something. Hi, Inkart, how you doing? Yeah. Anyhow, okay. So let's see now. What else we got today? Oh, I have to put my gloves back on. No, I think I already showed you that thing. One other thing. This is something. Now, this may sound weird, but when you're working really close, every now and then there is some aspect that you can't quite see quite right, and you've got I've got two different magnifying lights and things that shine down, but I found a little flashlight really helps. I mean, every now and then, you know, there's some piece you're looking at, some little gear under something. Hi, Abdul, how you doing? And this little flashlight, you can light it up. There it is, and you know, you got a loop on or something like that. By the way, too, I've gone back to my old wire loop. When I first got a loop, I got the little head wire to go with it, and then I thought, well, I'll get some for the glasses, and that was the first ones I got were terrible, and so then I got another one, and it wasn't much better, and it just sort of popped down like that. I ordered another one, and they were out. So, I don't know what, you know, as far as that. So I went back to the old wire one, and it's glasses on, and then the loop down, and back and forth between that, and it's sort of weird. The other one I found too, this one right here, this is a great loop. And the reason it is it's on the side here, it has air vents. Because one of the things I found out is, and it's also soft here. So, you know, when you put the thing on, it's really comfortable. But it's like all unattached loops, they can fall out if you're, well, trying to keep it in. But this is a great one for that. But anyway, like I said, I went back to the old wire thing on my head, and you know, looks like a horn up here, and the glasses off and back on again. So that's the way it is. 5x to 25x per eye magnifying glasses. Yeah, I tell you, hi Steve. This is what I know. And hi Bruce, how you doing? I got the when I signed up for that time zone course, they said to get a number 5 and a number 10, I think, or maybe it was a number 4 and a number 10. And I never got the number 10. And so I got something like a 35, which is, for certain things, it's really great. It's not one you put in your eye, it's you pop it open. And yeah, this guy right here, and it's got a light on it, and I burned out the battery, so I'll have to get that. But this one is one for very special things. I think probably a number 5 and a number 10 would be really probably, like that was what they told me, people who know what they're talking about. Okay, see what else did it was, okay, so I got the adjustment, got the dial on, see what else, that's adjustment. Okay, so the next step is getting the hands on. Well, one other thing too, I found out, I was working on a thing today, and I thought, oh man, I want to get this thing done. And it's more fun if they're without rushing it, because it's a lot of fun to do. And I found out that taking your time and doing it over several days probably is not a bad thing, and for a number of reasons. But one of the things is that I think you really need to lay things out right before you start. And by that I mean just have the tools, the parts, and everything else you need, and get rid of everything else. I got my little table here, and I've got I have a little tripod that holds on to my camera so I can take pictures of it, and that's that's another story too. So anyway, so what would you guys like to talk about? That's what I've been doing up to now. I thought, well, I could sort of provide a update. The Pretentious Watchmakers site is up. If you go in and you put if you go to Facebook, log into Facebook, and then in the little where they have a little F in the corner, put in Pretentious Watchmakers, and that'll get there. Some people are having a hard time finding it, and well, one reason I had it secret for a while. And there's a lot of work I still have to do on it, but it's a good place that we can, play around. And okay, have you seen the phone app for time graphing? Now, time graphing, Kevin. Now, the one I'm using may be the one you're talking about. That is, where's my? Let me find my gizmos for it. Around here. This is what I was using earlier today. Rats, what did I do with it? Basically, it's a clamp that goes into the bottom of your phone, okay? And it's a little cable, and on the end of the cable is here it is. This is all it is. This is what you get from Frederick Constant. If you go to the Frederick Constant site and look for the analyzer, okay, you get one of these. And then what you do when before you start making your watch, let me see, I got one in here. You take your movement while it's still in that little plastic case, and it works fine. And then you put the fat side right over the balance wheel, and you just clip it on like that, and you plug it in, and Bob's your uncle. It's really simple to use. I use my other time grapher. I get it out and all of the big stuff with it, but this one is good for when you're just you want to check it. Like when I did mine today with this, it was way off. And this one brought it back to some more centered spot with it, and so I like it. I mean, it's not like professional watchmakers have these really precision ones. Okay, this is convenient and easy to use. My other one, if I want to go through and turn it all to the different positions, which is good, and I like to compare. From what I've found so far, there's not a whole lot of difference. They may have improved the software on it. Freddie Constant may have made the software better. But what it is essentially a microphone. And so you put it into your microphone jack in your iPhone, I think, or your Android. And then you download the app for it and put it in here, and that's it. It's very simple to use. So, Kevin, that's the app that I've been using for time graphing. But it's like I sort of call it my quick and dirty time graphing. But it's a nice thing. The other nice thing about it is that it keeps a record of all of your times and your the different readings that it has. Okay, it's not reading till the end. Abdul, what happens is that it's going through and it's looking at it, and you're right. At the very end, then it comes up and tells you what you got. So anyway, that's the way it works, and then you can save it to a database. Simon, yeah, it is simple, and it's relatively inexpensive. There's one that houses the remote mic on earbuds. It's only about 13, 14 bucks. Yeah, I don't know about that one, Kevin. This one, you're right. This one is in the $100 range. Exactly. Use the second. Okay, now, Steve. Let me see. I'm trying to get the question that Steve has is about the second hand on a 6497. What you have, let me get my gloves back on. Let me show you what you have with a 6497 dial, and that's the important thing, is to get the right dial for your movement. Okay, if you've got a movement that is the wrong one for if you get the wrong dial for the movement, the holes aren't going to conform to each other. So if you have, for example, this guy right here, and let me see how to put this. Okay. I got to get it at the light here is weird for some reason. There's not a lot of it, but come on. Okay, and I got it upside down. So can you see that now? All right, at 9 o'clock over here, there's a little hole and a subdial. There's a post in here there's a post in the dial side of the movement that you stick the dial the second hands on. I had a lot of trouble doing that. It's not easy. This guy made it a lot easier, but it's the first hand usually that you put on, because once it's done, putting it on the hour hand and the minute hand is not very hard at all. Dial has hours and numbers only, no seconds. The 60 requiring modification, yes. Steve, the modifications you have to make. 1 second. Okay, this is called a stem cutter, and when I bought it, they call it a stem cutter because I got it from a watch place. I got it from Auto Fry. What you do is that you find the little post for it and clip it off. I had to do that with the first one I made because I got an enamel dial, and the enamel dial had only hours and minutes on it, and so I had to get rid of that. I was told that I should take it apart and pull out the fourth wheel, which is the one that the second hand is on, clip it, and then put it back together. Didn't go back together. All right. So I had unfortunately, I had two movements. I'm going to try to get the other one fixed. And what I did is that you need to get good wire cutters, or in this case, what they call a stem cutter. You get a good pair, and these are called Euro something or other. I don't know what it is, but you take the front of your movement and you get this thing as close as possible, snip it off. Then using something like an Arkansas stone or some other kind of fine filing, you you smooth it down so you can get the dial on. What kind of, Steve, what kind of dial did you get? Simon saying irreversible modification. You know what, Simon? Oh, you got a California dial. Those are wonderful. Actually, I found out that they're not as irreversible as I thought. Because what you can do, you can get a new fourth wheel and pop the fourth wheel in. But then you've got to get into a little more of the watchmaking. And that's the nice thing about the 64, 98, and 97 is that they're big, and for learning how to take something apart and put it back together. What I did though, now this is important. All right, Otto Fry had both. They had a short fourth wheel, so the post wouldn't stick through. So I bought a fourth wheel, and I had an ST36. Because yeah, ST36 or 3600, and it wouldn't quite fit. So if you're going to use that, you should be aware that some of the standard movement parts for an ETA 64, 97, 98 may not fit on an ST36 or 3620. Okay. Simon, what kind of movement? Do you get a ETA or do you get an ST36? Okay, Orange Hand. This will be a wonderful one, Steve. Okay, it's an ST movement. Simon, how do you know that? I didn't know. If it's an ST movement, that was what I used. I had an ST on that one, and got it fine tuned just like I did the ETA. Okay, Abdul, you're gonna get one. Yeah, I like the California movement. I mean, this California dial too. It's really different. The it's sort of an interesting history to it too. They used to call it the Roman Arabic dial, and apparently some guy in California, Southern California, did a lot of work on them. And instead of calling him the Roman Arabic dial, they just called him the California dial. Simple enough. Okay, what else is on everybody's mind as far as watchmaking? Nothing. There's a big zunk. Okay, well, listen. If you'd like to join the, you want results from you? Yeah, I'd love to hear your results, Steve. I very much so. Are you going to transition to chronograph movements after? You know, it's funny. Not a whole lot. By the movement first. Jack, yes, definitely. The reason for that is that the reason to get the movement first is that the case and the dial that you get will depend on the movement. If you get a dial, if you get somebody says, here's an old dial, and it doesn't fit the movement, it won't do you any good. Facebook, that's where we have it's called the, I keep forgetting the name, it's so negative, Pretentious, Pretentious Watchmakers. Go ahead, go visit it, sign up, I'll pop you in, and we can start adding stuff. But I really would like to see everyone, to come there so we can talk about these things. It's got a lot of work to do on it. whole bunch of stuff to do. Yeah, I'd like to see that's what I'm doing. I've got I posted what I've done so far on what I'm calling watch number 3 at this time. I'll have to call it some other thing. And myself and LOL both have some watches we've done up there. So yeah, I'd like to see other people's projects, progress. So you guys, when you start getting something, that'd be great, and we can sort of move along from there. But remember, now this is not a place. Take it a step at a time. All right. We're just going to be doing simple mechanical watches. I haven't even done anything with automatics, but I don't particularly care for automatics anyway. If you want to do something more exciting, be my guest. But I can't help you on anything right now other than pretty much what I'm working with. And I'm doing that because they're relatively easy to work with. No, the Pateks don't. We don't start working on them until April. Okay, Dave. After April, not a problem. But those are only those are the high complications that we'll be working on by then. Okay. Anyway, well, listen. Just thought I'd have a sort of a quick update on Sunday. The video is gonna cover all of the steps from the adjustment through the final watch. And if it's late, it means something happened bad. But I'm hoping everything will be ready. All right. Hope to see you all then, and take care.